Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Let's go. No. It's time for the 175th episode of the most magical game show on earth. Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and this is Disney Jeopardy. For this special 175th edition of the show, I've come up with 5 categories that I am thrilled to present to you. They're unique, they're different, some have never been done before. So without further delay, let's check out the board to see what you'll be playing. First up, it's 2012's Pixar film Brave. After that, we're moving on to firearms that appear in Disney movies. Your third category is one of my favorites ever. It's color palettes. And once again, it's the 175th episode, so what better than traveling back to 1975 and visiting some Disney parks. And finally, what did the club DJ members choose for their category? They chose live action or original song. At least more than half of them did. 52% goes to the winner. And before we get started, special thanks to everybody who has joined me on this crazy journey that has spanned 174 episodes thus far. I hope you enjoy this 175th one. Let's begin with the cupcake round. It's the easiest round of the game. Brave is your first category. Hopefully you watched it recently. What Merida's mom eats that turns her into a bear? A little disrespect for Queen Eleanor there. I don't know why I wrote Merida's mom on the graphic, but what did Queen Eleanor eat before turning into a bear? She ate cake.
What's this?
It's a peace offering. I made it for you. Special.
You made this for me?
I'll be honest, I don't think that looks like cake. That looks more like a fruit tart, but those are Merida's words, not mine. All right, we're moving on to firearms now. I talked about it earlier in this category. I'll be asking you questions about firearms, guns that appear in Disney and Pixar films. There are actually more than you might realize. Name the character who is holding this shotgun. You should be able to tell by the background. It's in the middle of the jungle. The man holding it is Clayton.
Stand back! Wait!
No!
Clayton. Huh? Clayton. Ah!
Okay, guys, here we go with one of my favorite categories I've ever done. And that's saying something because I've done over 600 categories in this show's history. This one is called color palettes. There's a website, moviepalette.com. Essentially how it works is every scene in a film has a dominant color in it. That color is represented on a canvas right here. I'll give you 3 options to make it easier because asking you to pick from the entire Disney catalog would be a little tough. You'll have to know the order of your favorite Disney scenes to have a chance at this one. Hope you enjoy it. Let's dive in. Here's our first movie played out in a color palette. Is it Frozen, Moana, or Aladdin? So again, I had to give you all 3 options to give you a chance of getting this right. Let's zoom into the color palette to see what the correct answer is.
Elsa! You can't run from this!
So there you go. What'd you think? I'll show you another image to break down the color palette for you. That pink strip in the middle is when Anna and Kristoff meet Olaf in that pinkish forest scene. And of course, you have them arriving at Elsa's ice castle on the right. That's why you have the, what is it, aqua strip, I guess you can say. Let It Go, if you're curious, occurs right over here. And again, that big white strip at the end, that's the film's climax. Let's move on to the park category now. It's Disney Parks in 75. Opening on the same day as Space Mountain in 1975, this legendary attraction recently closed after 50 years and plans to reopen with a Walt Disney animatronic in the future. I'll tell you now, Disney, I'm not a fan of this refurb that you're doing. The correct answer is the Carousel of Progress. It is officially closed and will reopen with the aforementioned Walt Disney animatronic, which I am excited about. But in terms of changing every other scene, nope, not a fan. Personally, I was a fan of doing 1900, 1920, 1940, and then present day. I always thought that big jump into the final scene was kind of funny and a little charming. But Disney, I guess, had other ideas. All right, here comes the final clue of the cupcake round. It belongs to live action or animated song. I will be playing you the clip of a song that appears in both the live action remake and the original animated Disney film that you know and love. You have to identify the one you're hearing. Does that belong to the live action film or the animated film? Because they all sound a little different. Here we go.
Wreak havoc on our village if we let him wander free.
Well, you were listening to the mob song from Beauty and the Beast. Was it the animated version or was it the live action version? The correct answer is the animated version.
Wreak havoc on our village if we let him wander free.
He wreak havoc on our village if we let him wander free.
So it's time to take some action, boys. It's time to follow me.
Ooh, should have been a DJ. See how I mixed those two versions, the original animated version of the mob song and the live action one with Luke Evans? Should make a video doing that with different Disney songs. If that's something you'd want to see, leave a comment. I'd be happy to do it. All right, here we go. 400-point round now. Back to Brave we go. King Fergus loses this leg in his battle with Mordu. Poor Fergus lost his left leg. Here comes your second clue from Firearms. Name the character who's about to pull out a firearm and fire away. Sadly, that is Calhoun on her wedding day from Wreck-It Ralph. Back to color palettes we go. You know how it works. Take in the beautiful colors. Once again, the movie begins all the way on the left and goes all the way to the right. Is this film Wreck-It Ralph, Pocahontas, or The Lion King? So what should give it away is that red strip all the way on the right side. Let's zoom in and see what the answer is.
Murderer. Simba, Simba, please. Please have mercy, I beg you. You don't deserve to live.
Man, I love it. Look how pretty Lion King is laid out. So many different colors. We'll superimpose a few extra scenes now for you, and you can see you've got Timon and Pumbaa's introduction in that whitish desert scene, then Simba eating the bugs in the green, and then over in the right where it gets dark, that's when Rafiki and Simba have a chat about his father, Mufasa. All right, here comes Disney Parks in 75. After the original debuted in Disneyland in 1967, Walt Disney World got its own version of this attraction in July of 75, complete with open-air cars. The correct answer is what I always not jokingly say is one of the greatest rides ever made, the People Mover. The real question, though, is which version is better, or should I say was better, because Disneyland is still non-existent after shutting down over 20 years ago. Bring it back, Disneyland. Final clue of the 400s belongs to live action or animated song. There you have it. Is that from the animated version or the live action? Correct answer is the live action version.
La la la, ita la hana hana.
400-point round is complete. Let's travel back across the board to Brave, a film that I haven't talked much about. I like Merida substantially more than I like the film. I'll say that. Here we go. 600-point clue on the way. Merida offers to buy all of the witch's carvings by paying with this. She pays with her necklace.
And how are you going to pay for that, sweetie?
With this.
Well,
Here's Firearms for 6. This criminal is holding someone up hostage. Who is about to punch him in the face? Criminal is from The Incredibles. He's pointing his weapon at Bob, or Mr. Incredible, but that is not who punches him. No, instead it's our introduction to Elastigirl.
Contents of her purse, but maybe that's not what you had in mind.
Hey, look.
Elastigirl.
Halfway point of the game brings us back to my favorite category. It's color palettes. Take in the pretty colors and tell me which film is being showcased. Is it Atlantis, Toy Story 2, or Finding Nemo? I love how each individual color tells a story of a scene. Let's zoom in to see the correct answer. So the correct answer is Finding Nemo. I put the palette back on your screen and see if you can identify the other scenes you might recognize. I'll put them up in 3, 2, and 1. All the way on the left is Nemo and his dad at their home in the reef. And we move to the middle. What is that pink strip? It's, of course, the jellyfish scene. And finally, that lime green one, I'll be honest, it threw me off. I forgot about it. It's the algae fish tank scene. Here comes Disney Parks in 75 for 600. Debuting in January of 75, Space Mountain changed roller coasters forever while originally being sponsored by this company. The original sponsor was RCA, and that's who gave us this dog. Final clue of the sixes, it's another live action or animated song.
Oh, we mow it, 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 oh, we mow it.
I always forget about this song in The Lion King, but it is so good. Which version was that? Was it the animated one or the live action one? The correct answer is it was Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen, meaning that it's from the live action version.
Mow it, oh, we 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 mow it.
The lion sleeps tonight.
We are more than halfway through the game. Hope you're enjoying episode 175. Let's move on to Brave for the 4th time. The name of the king and queen's maid. Her name is Maudie. Here comes your 800-point clue from Firearms. Give me the first and last name of the weapon-wielding character on your screen. Is there a more appropriate character for this category? That is one of the 3 caballeros he's introduced in the 3 Caballeros film. The Mexican rooster. What's his full name? How about Panchito Pistoles? Essentially, Panchito Pistols.
Aha, my friends! Bienvenidos, cuates! Welcome to Mexico!
We are on to the 4th clue from Color Palettes. Are we looking at The Nightmare Before Christmas, Treasure Planet, or Elio? It's a very dark movie, that's for sure, when you look at the colors across the different scenes. Let's zoom in and find out what the answer is.
No animal nor man can scream like I can with the fury of my recitation.
So the answer is Nightmare Before Christmas, of course. You can see that yellowish, whitish strip over there. That was the moon in the Jack's Lament scene. What else do we have? We get all those colors popping in a little later on when Jack visits Christmas Town. Finally, that red strip, just like The Lion King, has to do with fire, but this time it's the famous Oogie Boogie climax. Here's 1975's 800-point clue. After guests grew tired of the attraction Flight to the Moon, Disney replaced it in 1975 with this otherworldly attraction. So the correct answer is Mission to Mars, which is pretty funny because when you think of a ride named Mission that has to do with space, you probably think of Mission Space. And over Mission Space, you have two options. You can either go on the version that goes around the moon, or you can go on the version that goes to Mars. So Tomorrowland had an attraction, Flight to the Moon, that was replaced with an attraction that goes to Mars. Here comes your final clue of the 800s. It's live action or original song.
She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her.
And we are dropping bangers today. That, of course, was Kiss the Girl. But was it from the live action version of The Little Mermaid or the animated one? Let's find out.
She don't got a lot to say, but there's something about her.
So there you go. 20 clues are down and 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, you know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic soundtrack infused. This is episode 175. Unnecessarily. Spotlight, part of the game, 1,000-point round. Hit it. Once again, thanks to everybody who's watched all of these episodes, especially you, Club DJ members. These episodes were done a long time ago. If it wasn't for you guys, if you want to join Club DJ, see your name at the end of every episode, and vote in the Club DJ poll each and every week, simply click the join button while watching these episodes on a computer. Here we go. 1,000-point round gets underway. We say goodbye to Brave. During the touch the sky scene near the start of the film, we see Merida carve this into her bow. She carves a bird into her bow before seeing one in the sky.
Where dark roots hide secret.
Here comes your final clue from Firearms. This Pixar film includes a shotgun being fired over a dozen times in the film's opening first 15 minutes. Wouldn't necessarily associate shotguns with this movie, but the correct answer is Ratatouille. Here comes color palettes for the final time until I bring it back. Are we looking at Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, or The Little Mermaid? Just like Lion King, this is a pretty color palette, and the correct answer is...
I know you, the king in your arms.
Makes sense that the color palette is so pretty. It's probably Disney's prettiest film ever. Here are some other scenes if you're interested. Over on the left, that white strip that starts the movie, that's when we dive into the book. And you see the two kings chatting it up in the middle. And finally, that yellow strip, that's the big battle between Maleficent and Prince Philip. Once again, thanks to MoviePalette.com for putting all of these together. Check them out. All right, here we go. It's Disney Parks in 1975 for the final time. The Sherman Brothers were tasked with writing a song for this parade that Disneyland / the Magic Kingdom debuted in 1975, the bicentennial celebration of the United States. The correct answer is America on Parade. Look at these costumes. You're telling me these are over 50 years old? We should have brought them back. What are we doing, Disney? We turned 250 this year. A drop in the ball. Here we go. Final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy. It's a live action or animated song. Oh, baby boy, are we in for a treat right now because you, yes, you, could potentially set the all-time record for a 26-clue game of Disney Jeopardy. Why is that? Well, because this is the final clue on the board. So if you've gone 24 for 24 thus far, then you should have 14,000 points. If you wager them all and get this right, you end up with 28,000 points. And then in Final Jeopardy, you would have to double up again to get the potential record 56,000 points. That is the galactic hero of this game. This is a very unique opportunity. I hope you go all in right now. Make your wagers based on your knowledge, live action, and original Disney songs. Oh man, I am nervous and I'm not even playing. Let's see the final clue on the board that will determine how many points you'll have before Final Jeopardy.
Baby mine, don't you cry.
So there you go. Is that the live action or original version of Baby Mine? Baby Mine makes me so sad every time I hear it. It makes me even sadder every time I see the scene. But which version were you just listening to? The correct answer is the live action version.
Baby mine, don't you cry. Baby mine, dry your eyes.
So there you go. 75 clues are down. One remains. Just so happens to be the one clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the rest of your life. Just kidding. Till next week, because that's when you can redeem yourself with episode 176. Let's spin the Final Jeopardy wheel to see what Final Jeopardy is all about. Now this is crazy to me. I've done a number of up questions throughout the years, but in 175 episodes of Disney Jeopardy history, I've never done an up category. That changes next week. Make sure you rewatch one of Pixar's most beloved movies. If you're already super knowledgeable about it, well then go all in for a chance to double your points. So here we go. It's the final clue from one of my favorite episodes in recent Disney Jeopardy history. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. It comes from up. The name of Charles Muntz's famed Zeppelin. Good luck. And time is up. No, a Zeppelin is not a dessert you can get at a pizzeria in New York. A Zeppelin is similar to a blimp. That's right, and one of the most important characters in the film Up uses a Zeppelin to get around. What was the name of it, though? The correct answer is The Spirit of Adventure.
Charles Muntz, the beloved explorer, lands his dirigible, The Spirit of Adventure, in New Hampshire this week.
That does it for episode 175 of Disney Jeopardy. Thanks so much for watching. Bunny Eclipse. Bunny Eclipse. Guess what? We're doing Up next week. Yeah, you love Doug. I need to get her the Doug technology so that this isn't always a one-way conversation. You might not speak, but Bunny, I do know that you love Disney Jeopardy pets. Yes, they are back and on your screen. Keep them coming. Still need to make a pet page on DisneyJeopardy.com. because all these sidekicks need to be showcased for more than just a few seconds. I would say thanks to all the owners for sending them my way, but let's be real. Each of these little guys are the head of their respective household. They bring such a smile to my face. Speaking of which, so do Club DJ members, so make sure you go vote now in the poll to determine what will join up in next week's episode 176. Now, you know the deal, right, Bunny? Like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe and click that bell icon. Hello, bell. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. This way, you're notified every time we go out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I'll see you next week for episode 176, and so will Bunny Eclipse. So, Bunny, you want a bone? Yeah.
Bye-bye.